tonight. Excited to welcome to the broadcast this morning Andre Canty, who is co-host of the Hip Hop Forum, and Raymond Lee, the other co-host. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Hal.
Andre is a friend and a great writer, and we were just kind of catching up. It's great to see you. I didn't realize that it was 2011.
Yeah, 2011, man, when I still had hair, man. Yeah, 26 years old, man. Yeah, it's been that long. It's been too long, actually.
But it's good to see you this morning.
Yes,
thank
sir.
you for joining us this morning. And then Raymond Lee, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Hal.
Let me talk to you both first a little bit about your backgrounds. I know a little bit about Andre. Raymond, tell me a little bit about your life and what brings you to the work that you do.
Sure. So I'm originally from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, but traveled around, lived in Atlanta for a while, Upper East Tennessee as well, spent some time in California as well, but always had a love and passion for hip-hop music. Was an artist for a while,
Really?
And about 3 or 4 years ago, I kind of wanted to start transitioning from being an artist to a voice, an activist, somebody who empowers the community. Not that you can't do that through music, but I wanted to find another avenue to do that. So I started doing some radio work at 90.3 at UT, and developed some shows there. Also, did a couple other shows at other stations. And a couple years ago, well, not a couple years ago, about a year and a half ago, while doing radio, a friend of mine, Clarence Tate, and a guy named Angel Ibarra approached me about doing this thing called Hip Hop Forum. And they said, I want you to speak at the Hip Hop Forum. And I was like, okay, what is it about? And so he said we wanted to use hip hop to talk about what's going on in our community and use it to help our community as it was intended in the beginning. So I came out and spoke. I think that was April of last year was the first one. And that's where I met Andre for the first time. He and I had chatted online. But we did the first forum. About a couple months later, decided to do another one. And after that, Angel asked if I would like to take over the Hip Hop Forum because he knew I enjoyed speaking. So then I began to host the Knoxville Hip Hop Forum. We started out at the Birdhouse Community Center, and we started having monthly events and started building a pretty good following, and had a really big one in January titled Selma to Ferguson, where we focused on how far we've came and civil rights. So that's the short version of how I got here.
What did you study in school?
Communications. Yes.
So you had a vision of a voice.
I did. I knew I wanted to communicate to the world. I first thought that would be through music. And let me say this, I appreciate your references of hip hop occasionally throughout the show. I hear Hal spew some Jay-Z lyrics every now and then, and I was impressed, and was really impressed a couple weeks ago when you were breaking down the lyrics of Brick House.
Oh yeah.
That was interesting.
That was public service. Andre, for people who don't know you, fill us in a little bit on your background.
All right, cool, that'll work. Yeah, so if I'm originally from the East Knoxville, I want to put that out there. Yeah, so I'm born and raised here in Knoxville. I graduated from South Door and went to Middle Tennessee State first from undergrad, and later graduated from University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Not only am I the co-host of the Hip Hop Forum, I'm also the president of 100 Black Men Greater Knoxville. I think I'm the youngest out of all the presidents all around the world at 30. And I'm also a part of several other organizations, Know-How, Education Equity. I'm involved with the current Black movement in Knoxville. With everything's been going on with Paris, I'm also Muslim. When
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like this, I guess it's my coming out. Like as a Muslim, so like when I heard some of the stuff, like, oh man, I'm scared, man. With being a Muslim, especially during these times, our current theme is hip hop and terrorism. It's like how certain groups are pegged, as the face of terrorism, as the face of criminality, and it's only when, so like for instance, when somebody does any kind of violence in the name of Allah, right? So all of a sudden, all 1 billion people, are blamed for the actions of few, right? Same thing with black people, right? So like if somebody robs the store or there's like any kind of gang violence, right? So that one group or that one incident, like, it's indicative of the entire group, right? So my role in not only the Hip Hop Forum and as an organizer, I'm an organizer now, is to shift the narrative, right? And my thing's about social justice. This current movement is like really urgent with what's going on in Islam and Missouri and Black Lives Matter, like all that kind of stuff. Is like there needs to be a movement in Knoxville. There's stuff going on currently in Knoxville, the same kinds of issues. So how can we elevate that and fight together? Trying to go back to what the civil rights movement was in a new kind of entity. Like not only do we march, we're in the polls. We collected money, we creating our own jobs, and we tweet, we post, we do all of that.
All right. So